On today's video, we will be repacking or rebuilding a hydraulic cylinder. You will need, a lot of guys use a spanner wrench. I don't have a spanner wrench. So I use we call a monkey wrench or a pipe wrench. A sledgehammer, this is a 4-pound. A good heavy duty punch. You need some various picks, flathead screwdrivers, rags, brake cleaner, unless you're watching from California, because it's not for sale in California. I guess they say it causes cancer out there. The good thing is we're in Kentucky. We should be okay. You also need your hydraulic cylinder. This is I would call probably a medium-sized hydraulic cylinder. And I'll have to take this headpiece off of it, which is just a simple snap ring, and then it'll pull off. This is chain rollers for chains to go over. And we'll get right into it. I took the headpiece off the cylinder here, and we'll get right into it. I also forgot to mention a couple 2x4s I always like to use. Ain't gonna need a vise. And I also have a garbage can with pig mats down in it to catch the fluid, because there will be some fluid inside of this cylinder. Also, I need to take this little lock set screw out of the side of the cylinder. Not all cylinders have this, but this one does. So I'll have to take it out. Let me grab a looks like a 3mm out. So we'll take a rag here and we'll just clean the end of this up. You see how it's kind of nasty. It's a catch-all, and that's why the wiper seal is so important. It keeps all that debris and dirt from getting down into your actual lifting seal and stuff. Take a rag, just clean it up. Now, I don't know if everybody does this, but when I'm rebuilding the cylinder, I don't mess up putting it in a vise without having wood on each side of it. So, cylinder this size, you can do it with a 6-inch vise, but 8-inch vise makes it a lot easier. It's going to take a lot of force to break that. It'll take a lot of force to break that nut loose. So I need to get this good and tight. And I like to break mine loose with it. You say you've got a spanner wrench, you can hook it in here, but I don't have one. So I use a hammer and a punch. I rebuilt, I don't know, 100, 200 cylinders or so, and it works for me. Once I get it broke loose, take my pipe wrench. This is, I believe, a 30 or 24-inch pipe wrench. So I'll take it and just I can hook it on this and that. Oops. Just grab your rag. You'll nick your hand if you don't from where you hit it with the punch. Just loosen that up. Here's where the garbage can's going to come into action. So get that loose. Be careful and don't let that hit just like I did. Pull a rod out. Pull a rod out. There we go. And there it is. So we'll make sure you kind of keep this on the surface. Try not to beat it up too from it. You want to take your barrel, on top of the can, and brake cleaner. Make sure to clean it out pretty good. Sorry for the background noise, guys. There's another guy working in the shop today. But we have our barrel, our rod, seal kit, and gland nut. All your seals are in your gland nut and on the rod. Here's a new seal kit made in the United States, which is great. We'll open it up, see what all we have in here. So, I like to start with my gland nut. So right here is your wiper seal. You can see there's always a bunch of crud down around that wiper seal. If you take your flathead screwdriver, it may be easier with a straight punch. Straight pick. Pull that out just like that. Don't worry about tearing the old seals up. If it's your first time doing it, you always want to pay attention to which way you pull it out. Make sure you put the new seals back in the exact same way. I've done a few, so I just get them out of there as fast as I can. I'm kind of slow down today for the video. Alright, look. That's your actual bigger seal down in there. Now, a tip, I guess we could call this a pro tip I'm going to give you on this seal. Here's your new one. On a lot of them, they don't have this. It's not a two-piece seal. This one, it's two-piece. It has an O-ring inside of the seal. See, I don't know if you can tell in the video, but one side of this is smooth and the other side is beveled out. Beveled always goes down in your gland nut. Always goes down. Just remember that. Then that's only two seals you have inside of this gland nut. You have the big seal and the wiper seal. And then you have just like a spacer ring and an O-ring on the outside. So we'll pull the O-ring off. And you have this little really thin spacer ring. There it is. Pull it off. We'll clean this up a little with brake cleaner. Make sure you wear safety glasses too. I should have added that in anytime you're especially using a punch and hammer. Wear safety glasses. The Lord only gave us two eyes. It'd be a good thing to leave this world with the two you started with. Just try to get that as clean as you can down in there. Alright, remember, beveled side down. This is a two-piece, so it's easy to always O-ring down. A lot of them don't have that O-ring. They're not two-piece. They'll have like a split in them. They actually make a tool, a seal tool, where you can, a pair of pliers where it'll like double this seal in, sort of like that, and you can put it down in there. But I don't have any fancy tools. We're just making do with what we got. So you start one side of that down in the gland nut and just push. Take some pressure, but just take your thumbs, this thumb inside, this thumb on top, and just work it in. See how that popped right in there? Also, another great thing is to make it a little easier. If you're new to doing cylinders, you can get you a little bit of motor oil. And when I was putting that seal in, I could have coated it with motor oil and it would have went in and out easier. You don't need that really for wiper seals, but we'll do it just to demonstrate. You can just kind of oil that seal and it'll go in easier. Do it the same way, you start one side in and just work it around. Make sure you keep it even and push it all the way in. Then our new ring, the spacer ring. Just pull it down around and make sure you take something and make sure that it's flat and it ain't twisted. And you have an O-ring. Take your O-ring. Just pull it down around that gland nut. Now I do oil these because you don't want that O-ring bulging out on one side of the cylinder when you go to tighten it back up. Alright, now we have our gland nut successfully and fully repacked. So now we'll start on the rod. This is just like a, I would call it a stabilizer seal. I don't actually know the technical name for it. Here's a new one for it. Then here comes the fun part. So we will, this is, I don't know if you can see it. This is two different here. This is a spacer and that's your actual seal. Spacer is like a two-part. It's got a split in it, a beveled split. I guess on a 45, so it fits together nicely. So you just find that split in it, rotate it around. There's a split. Pull the split out. Pop it off. Put it down to the end. Here's your seal. Need a little bit stronger than that little flat pick. Now, like I said, don't be afraid to pull that thing off there. Once you get that screwdriver under that seal, just pop it down. Well, just pop it down around there, just like so. Now make sure you remember which way you came off, but I'll give you just the tip again. Always, it's beveled. I don't know if you, let me see if you can tell in the video. Not really, but it's smooth on this side and beveled out just a little bit. Beveled always goes down, always down. So we'll take beveled down, put that up on the cylinder. We will take a little oil and put around this. This seal is kind of hard. You don't want to damage it. Get one side started up on it. Position this better. There we go. Flathead screwdriver, a smaller one. You can just take it, work it around there. Alright. Pop it up. Hold that in place on the other side. Just like that. Alright, that's popped on there. Push it down. New spacer. Drop it down on there. We'll just pick the, put it up in front of that. We'll oil this so when we put it back in the actual barrel, it'll already be oiled. Another tip I have is if you buy a seal kit and you have an extra O-ring or two, maybe sometimes an extra seal we get in them, it's not always that you left something out. There may be, that seal kit may go for several different cylinders. So now we got to put this new stabilizer, spacer, whatever they call it on. It just snaps right on there. Once we get it on, we'll set that to the side. I didn't take this out, but earlier I was showing you it has this little bolt in the top of it. You do get a new washer with the O-ring gasket in it. And that's actually so we can bleed the air out of the cylinder once I get it back on. There's the old one. There's the new one. I'm going to put it in there, but I'm not going to tighten it yet. I'll just run it down by hand. Alright, now we'll put it back together. Alright, just put her barrel back in the same exact way as earlier. Let her vise out. Like I said, I like to use the 2x4s. Put her barrel back in there. Get it good and tight. We already oiled the rod. I'll put a little more on it, just to be sure it goes in there easy. So we'll put a little bit of oil down in here too, down in the actual barrel itself. Makes the process easier. I've seen some guys use engine assembly lube, that works fine too. Whatever you have, just any kind of lubricant. You gotta kind of just wiggle a little and get it past the threads. And this one's being different. Just kind of wiggle it, and sometimes just tapping it with a hammer just a little. Alright. There we go. Now put your gland nut on, you just bottom your cylinder, your rod out the barrel. Good seals. Blazing. Just tap it on. It's ready. Turn that in. Once you get it down to the O-ring, make sure that the O-ring goes in evenly. Don't kick, bulge, or kick back out on you. You take a pipe wrench. Get a good bite on it and just give it a good and tight See it slipping in the vise. Take it. Down a little more. A lot of people would stop at that point, or they may have a spanner wrench like you're supposed to, but take a hammer and punch. Just give it another few good whacks. And that's how you successfully pack the cylinder. This cylinder's good to go. I mean, you could touch it up with paint or something if you wanted to from where we scratched it, but that's a completely repacked, rebuilt hydraulic cylinder. And we'll put her headpiece back on here. That just goes on. Snap ring. Pop it on. Now I can put it back on the unit. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, get back with us. Please subscribe to our channel, like the video, comment below. If you would, always keep the comments clean. Like I said, I do appreciate that. God bless. Really appreciate you guys watching the video today, and just wanted to get with you real quick before we sign off here and say please subscribe to our channel. Please like and comment. Keep the comments clean. I know I say that a lot, but I would very much appreciate it. If you don't like this content, you don't like our channel, then by all means don't watch. But if you do, I ask you to please subscribe and like. And as always, God bless you guys. And you can pack your own hydraulic cylinders. I mean, there's nothing wrong with taking it somewhere and getting it packed, but if you're a DIY and mechanically inclined at all, you can do it. Sorry for the background noise today, and there was other people in and out of the shop and stuff, but done my best to get you a good video and try to make it as informational as I could. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please comment below, and I'll try to make a few more.